If we can go ahead and keep those good vibes going. Got this New Mexico squad, man. They're showing some heart. They're showing some effort. They were like us. They were not very heralded within the conference going into this season, but they are still, in a position to maybe go to a bowl game. We'll see if we can dash those hopes a little bit. Here's Deandre Hughes. Man, it feels so good to have him back. We lost him for a good chunk of that Army game. We got him back in the fold, man. But he's not going to necessarily help us out here. 3rd and 12 here. Got to try to throw for it on 3rd and long. We get it out to Brandon Lewis, but he cannot pick up the stick. So first possession is not necessarily how we wanted it to end. We do end up punting it away here. But on this 1st and 10, we will get a big throw down. Well, thought we were going to get a big throw downfield. Thought we were going to have Deandre Hughes out of the backfield, but the New Mexico defense actually did a really good job of covering that. Gotta give them credit where credit is due, as New Mexico sends a big blitz, but we do end up getting it out to David Cormier. That was actually a really good call by New Mexico. We just did a really good job of executing our offense, as we do have another 3rd and long to deal. We're going to try to pick up the 1st down, but Deandre Hughes able to get to the outside, though. Nice job of waiting on his blockers. And it goes for another 1st down, baby. You love to see it, man. As we try to get into the red zone here, Bryant trying to throw over to Deandre Hughes. We're trying to get him out of that backfield, but throwing off balance. It just wasn't a good look for us. So now, 3rd and long coming up here, man. Trying to pick up the sticks on 1st down. David Cormier cannot get there, though. We do at least get a field goal out of it, so we don't leave empty-handed, but man, we were close to turning that into 7. This will help, though. David Cormier making a dive and grab. Good God, man. Not playing games with these guys today. At least that's the plan. As we try to throw on 1st and 10, Cormier makes one man. Oh my goodness, David Cormier just struck that poor soul. Ooh. Ooh, that makes me feel good, man. I love seeing that from our receivers. Playing tough, man. And I love this catch, too, by Micah Davis. That was a harder catch than it looked. That was in some traffic. It gets us into 1st and goal. And let's see if we can get our 1st touchdown of the day, going with Deandre Hughes, who finds some space to work with, picks up a gain of 5. So we do get ourselves just a little bit closer. Is now 3rd and goal coming up for us. Going to try to fake him out with a little play action here, and it works out for us, because look who we find in that end zone, baby. We got ourselves some Brad Roberts, my guy. You absolutely love to see it. And we jump out to a pretty good lead. We're up 10-0 now. I'm loving how we're playing right now. Loving how the squad is dealing, as we do enjoy this 10-0 lead. As we go ahead now, go with Warren. Bryant tried to pitch it out, and just as we were starting to put our dominance on the Lobos, man, we turned the football over, and they find a way to get 7 points out of it. Just not a good look, as we do come back out on the field after. We do end up fumbling that football, and it's a 10-7 lead for us still. As we go ahead, hand it off to Deandre Hughes. He takes it out to the outside. Got a little space to work with. Picks up a gain of 7 there in the process. It's his biggest run of the day, ironically, as we get a 2nd and short to work with. So going to go ahead, give the fullback a little bit of love. And that's Brad Roberts working his way to that 1st down marker. Making some guys miss. Just running forward and, not doing that east to west stuff. Just going north and south. That's what I love from our fullbacks, man. As we go ahead, 1st and 10 off the play action, trying to get it out to David Cormier, but just didn't put enough on that football. We'll have to try again here on a 2nd and 10. We'll see if we can pick up a little bit more, though. As we got a man downfield, that's Kyle Patterson that gets behind the defense. It's a foot race now, which tight ends don't win very often, but still a really big gain. I will still take that 10 times out of 10 and twice on a Sunday. And it gives us in the red zone for the 1st time today. Hughes, one man with the beat, cuts it back. Almost picks up that 1st down too, baby. Let's go, man. Let's see if we can pick up the sticks here. Just need one more yard. That's all I'm asking. One more stinking yard. And CJ McNeil is not going to get us here. So a decision time for us. But the head ball coach, man, he's showing some love for us here today, man. He wants us to go for it, and I'll be happy to do that. 4th and inches, and we get it out to Deandre Hughes, who dives for the end zone, man. And it's another touchdown for your Air Force Falcons, baby. And that's going to make it a 17-7 game after we do end up kicking that extra point. You'll love to see it, man, but New Mexico's starting to rally back. They get some points before the end of the half. They also got the ball to start the second half. They got points there too. So all of a sudden, this game is now all tied up. Things are going to get a little bit interesting here in the second half. But you know what? I'm ready for it. We're ready for that smoke, you know what I'm saying? So let's see if we can respond with that. 1st and 10, trying to get it out to David Cormier. He's able to get that quick catch. Nice little quick gain of 6. And David Cormier has been a guy, he's been all over the field so far. Able, almost 100 yards receiving. And we're not even, done with the third quarter. This will certainly help too. Jordan Guidry down the outside. And nobody accounted for the pitch, man. Nobody accounted for Jordan Guidry whatsoever. He was able to pick up a good chunk of yardage for us. And that's why we run the option, man. There's just so many elements that you have to look after, It's not the prettiest offense. It really is not. This is not the typical, spread it out 2021 college offense, but it's really hard to stop. And it even shows a little love to the fullbacks, man. Fullbacks is a dying position, not only in the NFL, but also in college football as well. But still showing that we got some use for him as, we almost fumbled that football away. Still not looking good. A 9-yard loss for us. It's 3rd and 16 now. So now, going to try to go for it here. 3rd and long, going to try to go for the end zone. But we have nowhere left to go. Zeke Daniels is in the game because apparently Warren Bryant got hurt. But you can't go backwards. I understand he was trying to, avoid the rush, but now it's 4th and 29. We have to go for it because that sack really did take us outside of field goal range. So trying to throw it here. Glad it wasn't at least picked off. But we do end up turning the football over. And we fumble the bag. Literally, we fumbled it on that drive. That really turned the drive around. And thankfully, New Mexico couldn't score off of that. But just kind of feels like we're doing what we can to keep New Mexico in this ball game. But Deandre Hughes trying to change that. 38-yarder for us here, man. And it gives us another 1st and 10. As Daniels looking to the right-hand side as Kyle Patterson, who's able to almost get to the 1st down marker. He'll be just 1 yard shy. Shouldn't be much problem for us to go ahead and pick it up. And it certainly wasn't after we get to the outside with Deandre Hughes. That's good for a gain of 5, man. And that is another 1st down for the United States Air Force Academy, man. Let's get it. As it gives us another 1st and 10 to work with. This time outside of the red zone. And this time not as much room to work with. But Jordan Guidry, got to give him credit, man. He found a way to find some yardage because there was not a lot of space to work with at all. Maybe we need to do a little bit more outside running. And get in that end zone. We should have had that block. If the receiver held that block just a little bit longer, he was getting in the end zone. It was a wide open slate for us to go. But instead, goal line situation. Going to try to get it in that way. But David Cormier drops the pass, though. Didn't know if you get in the end zone regardless, but it would have made it a little bit closer. As we still are on the 5-yard line. Going to try to throw for it. Can we get there with Jordan Guidry? We can't. And so we got to settle for another field goal. Just having some general red zone lows, man. I don't know what's going on necessarily. Maybe we need to go ahead and score outside of the red zone. That was a little bit off target, but David Cormier, he makes the catch for us because he happens to be in that vicinity. And it's going to be a 77-yard touchdown. Let's go, baby. And it wasn't who we were trying to get it to, but it is going to end up being the exact same result, though. Look at this. That was for Patterson. But David Cormier steps up, makes that catch for us nonetheless, man. And it makes it a 27-17 game. And they're showing some problems out there in the defensive backfield. Gonna try to attack deep again, but Jarrett Reed II almost picks us off at the same time. So now 3rd and long coming up for us. Not where we wanted to be. Wanted to try to go ahead and throw it short. We had but we don't have time to get that ball off. Got to scramble. We got Deandre Hughes, though. Get that block for me. Come on. Last man. Oh, 44-yard gain, though. Let's go, baby. That almost gets us into field goal range. That puts Warren Bryant over 250 yards. And he hasn't even played the whole game. You love to see it. It's Bryant looking around again. Left side, Micah Davis. But Davis drops the ball on me. How you going to break my heart like that? So it leads to a 3rd and long as we try to get the screen set up for Jordan Guidry. But couldn't get that one block that we needed. Just didn't have enough blockers. Not enough hats on hats, you know. We settled for another field goal. And this was a tough battle, man. But it was one of those games where it felt like, yeah, we scored 30 points. And, you know, 30 points, that's a good output for us. But at the same time, though, it does feel like we've kept New Mexico in this game a little too long. Matter of fact, if we don't get this 4th down, they have a chance to tie this thing. But thankfully, David Cormier will step up and make the catch for us. And we'll also go ahead and make sure we win this game. And David Cormier, and rightfully so, wins player of the game. 9 catches, 182 yards, and a tub. Dude was absolutely electric. And it does help our squad notch another dub. Keeps us alive in Mountain West Conference Championship play. And we do win this one by a score of 30-23, man. Alright, boys. So it felt really good to get 30 points on the board. But it just kind of seemed like we could have done a little bit more. Just kind of had some key mistakes in the red zone and all that. But still, we had over 500 yards of total offense, and we slung that rock around, man. Warren Bryant was great. Hazik Daniels, when he was in, wasn't too bad either. 350 yards passing. Feels good given that we weren't doing the very best in terms of running the football today on the ground. Do need to be better on those 3rd downs. 5 for 17 is not going to cut it, but we were 2 for 4 on our 4th down conversions, and we only had 1 turnover day. It was a fumble that kind of let New Mexico kind of hang in. But listen, we're still alive in the race to go to the Mountain West Conference Championship game. And, you know, whenever you win and win the way that we did, you know, can't complain. Nothing like a 7-3 record after 10 games. So checking out the stats for our boys. Warren Bryant was just slinging it out there today. 18 for 32, 267 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He looked pretty comfortable as a passer overall. I really loved what I saw from this passing game today. Hazik Daniels was solid too whenever he came in for an injured Warren Bryant. 3 for 6, 89 yards, and a touchdown to go with it as well. So that's really nice to see. He was actually the one that threw that long touchdown pass. As for the running game, you know, it wasn't as much as we wanted to accomplish, but Deandre Hughes, though, he almost got himself a 100-yard rushing day. 16 carries, 88 yards. Nobody getting a rushing touchdown for us, though. But that being said, David Cormier, oh my goodness. You want to talk about a bad man? David Cormier is a bad man. 9 catches, 182 yards, and a tub. Deandre Hughes also found the end zone as well. 3 catches and 65 yards. And it also feels good to see the fullback get involved too. He found the end zone off his only touch of the day. 2 yards, a score, and it was a difference maker, man. Able to get that win. We're all about winning here at the Air Force Academy, baby. So we do a check-in on how the conference standings are now looking after we not only play that New Mexico game, but also go through our bye week real quick. And we are in a situation where we can actually clinch the Mountain Division title in this episode. Right now, what it's looking like is, obviously, we got to take care of business. We have to win our game against UNLV. Now, if we win and Colorado State loses their game, they do go on the road to play against Utah State, and they are certainly hungry to get a win, then we can go to the conference championship game and await whoever comes out of what's been an insanely difficult conference, or at least a difficult division for Mountain West standards. It's still an open race between San Diego State, Nevada, San Jose State, UNLV. They need a win as well to stay alive, and so does Fresno State. So definitely a lot of sort out there in the West Division, but we can't worry about what we can't control. What we can control is this home game against UNLV. We got to go up against them. They're a little bit better than us on paper, but Lee Corso is going to be rocking with us. So let's hope that we can live up to Lee Corso standards and potentially clinch a division title. And by the way, guys, if you're enjoying this, make sure you hit that like button, hit subscribe if you're new. It really helps a brother out. But yeah, man, let's go ahead and get into game number 2 of this episode and see if we can go 2-0 in this thing, man. Let's get it. So the quest to go 2-0 in this episode starting right now, and what a great place for us to start as well. Warren Bryant forced to be flushed out of the pocket, though, trying to pick up a few yards, but just decides to throw it away at the very last second. And this UNLV squad, you know, they're also a team that's overachieved. They've been playing pretty well over the course of this season. It's almost like Uncle Sam's Reject somehow has an effect on him. For those of you that maybe watches AD Dynasty, maybe it's manifesting in our Dynasty a little bit too. But our offense been doing pretty good the last couple of games. We'll see if we can continue that here, as we do have a 3rd and 10 to deal with. We got to try and make something shake. We just have to throw this football away. Better than to turn the football over, give them a little even more momentum. And UNLV goes around and scores again. So we're actually down 7-0 early, but we're not going to panic yet. Although Warren Bryant, trying to run for his right, finds Brad Roberts, thankfully. And we almost managed to pick up the first down. That was a tough one, to be honest with you. We were trying to throw the ball downfield. It just wasn't happening. But it is almost enough to pick up the sticks, though, as we try to throw again with Warren Bryant. And we find David Cormier downfield for a nice gain. Is now 2nd and 6 coming up. Now we're back across midfield, same place where our first possession was. Warren Bryant almost managing to go ahead and picking up that first down. Is now 3rd and 1. Play action, clear out coming out for us here. Gonna drop back. Bryant looking around, gonna try to make something shake here. Gonna go pick up that first down marker and a whole lot more, baby. Let's go. Warren Bryant, such a dynamic threat on the ground as well. And is now 3rd and long. Trying to throw it to Micah Davis, who's trying to fight towards the end zone, but he's going to be marked down at like the 1-inch line. He was really close to getting our first touchdown of the game for us. But that being said, though, we don't have to wait too terribly long, though, because Deandre Hughes is going to make sure we get in that beautiful blue end zone, baby. Touchdown, Air Force. And we will strike back shortly after UNLV gets themselves on the board, too. And now we're all tied up at 7. So, first possession of the second quarter, we find Kyle Patterson downfield. We're starting to slice this UNLV defense a little bit. We're getting used to how they're playing, and we're getting ourselves in a little bit more of a rhythm as well. As we go run the option with Warren Bryant, he does manage to go ahead and pick up a gain of 8. Is now 2nd and short coming up. See if we can get a big play downfield using the play action. Although they weren't fooled whatsoever. Very lucky that we weren't called for an intentional grounding. It didn't look that great, but we don't lose any yards. Keep it 3rd and short. Helps us keep the drive alive potentially. And we certainly will do that with Brad Roberts, who picks up the first down and a little bit more. Somehow finds some space. Picks up a gain of 7. First down for the Falcons, baby. Okay. So a 1st and 10 comes after we pick up the sticks once more. We go back to Deandre Hughes on the ground. He picks up also a gain of 7. But let's see if we can get him with a little bit of a triple option pass. A little bit of slight trickery. And it actually works for us as we quickly find an open Kyle Patterson down the field. So another 1st and 10, basically a goal line situation. First down is at like the goal line. And Patterson will look to try to pick it up for us. He's trying to fight forward like a freight train, trying to truck through 2 people, and nearly picks up that 1st down for us. Only need to pick up an inch in order to keep this drive going. An incredibly long drive that we got going on. But why keep it going when you can add 6 more points on the board, you know what I'm saying? So Warren Bryant gets an easy touchdown, and for the first time today, we get a lead in this ball game. Now up 14-7. UNLV, they can't respond back. So we take over once again, and Warren Bryant, man, what needs to be said about him? He has done such a tremendous job ever since he did fully take over at that starting quarterback position. Not that Zeke Daniels has been bad, it's just like Bryant's been playing out of his mind and doesn't get hurt. That's the big thing too. Like Zeke Daniels got hurt so many times in that first half of the season where Warren Bryant has to come in anyways. So glad that we're getting a healthier quarterback starting for us. And also, he's been performing well, man. I like to see it, and I love to see that run as well. Deandre Hughes, gain of 16, baby. Is now 1st and 10 coming up. Gonna go and line up under centers. We'll drop back to pass. Trying to find somebody downfield. Gonna be forced to scramble though. Bryant trying to make something shake, and nice job having the presence of mind sliding down. Most of the time, if that quarterback is in the air when he's tackled, that ends up in a fumble. So good job by him to make sure he slides down and keeps the ball in our hands so we can get plays like this where Hughes can just go ahead and pick up the 1st down for us anyways. Nice little gain of 6. Is now 3rd and long a few plays later. Although it looks like the center of the field is going to be wide open for us. And sure enough, man, we find ourselves some Brandon Lewis all by himself, baby. Touchdown, Falcons. And look at this hole that Brandon Lewis created. Nice little move. Nobody covering the center of the field, and it was an easy throw for Warren Bryant to make, man. Another touchdown for us. We get the extra point as well. We're up 21-14 after UNLV also puts points on the board. Cormier looking to change that, make it a 2-score game. Just one man left to beat. Step back cheese. No, does not work there. Couldn't get it out in time, but 51-yard gain, though. That gets us into UNLV territory. Matter of fact, we're in the red zone once again. Very familiar sight for us in this episode, that's for sure. As Deandre Hughes picks up a gain of 7, makes it a reasonable 3rd down. Only need 5 more yards. We'll see if we can get that and then some. Maybe a little touchdown action here as well. Cormier, end zone dropped. We had Cormier. He had his hands on the ball, and we do pick up a field goal, but our defense turns around and gets a turnover as well. So we got a big chance here. Go ahead, pick up another score as Warren Bryant. Nobody open downfield, at least nobody that he can see. He's not the traditional quarterback who's going to read the defense. He's going to make like 1 or 2 reads tops and then make sure we go on the run as we try to get it to our tight end. He drops a touchdown. Can you believe that? My man could have had 7 whole points. Credit to him, but guess he wasn't ready for it after all. Brian Roberts is, though, and he'll get the touchdown for us anyways. And just beautiful way to run the option, man. It's a thing of, truly is a thing of beauty. I really do believe that. And we're in a spot now where if we wanted to, we could really run out the rest of his clock realistically. As you see the little notification on screen, we just hit 2,000 yards rushing as an offense. So again, you know, probably getting close to leading the country in rushing yards, given how much we do run this football at times. As that's a 23-yard gain by us by Warren Bryant, but that doesn't mean we'll avoid the pass all the time, though, as Bryant doesn't even have time to throw this football. Couldn't even process anything as Alao Almair with a little 5-yard loss, but hey, we can go ahead, get some time off the clock, starting to chew clock as Deandre Hughes tries to move forward and gets us back at least to the original line of scrimmage before we did end up taking that sack. And UNLV is also not using their timeouts right now, so it's an interesting predicament for UNLV as they got 2 possessions to work with. We pick up the 1st down, though, and now we start seeing UNLV taking those timeouts, you know. Like, at this point, you know, the game's essentially over, man. Like, you gotta quit, you know what I'm saying? That's another 5-yard gain for us. UNLV forced to take another timeout. And now at this point, if we do end up picking up this first down, we're going to make sure we get the rest of the time off the clock. And, of course, Warren Bryant does make sure that we do just that. So now UNLV can't stop the clock. We could end the game right here, but Warren Bryant actually gets his guys off to the line, and he runs it in the end zone. A last-second touchdown. A touchdown I didn't even need. You already know Coach Grossman may not like that very much, but we do end up coming through with another win, going 2-0 in this episode. So how about this for an exciting game for us? I'm pretty sure this is the most points that we've put up the entire season. Dropped 37 on UNLV's head. Even Ung might have had to step in if they wanted to contain our offense today, man. So it felt really good to get the job done. Almost 200 yards on the ground, 200 yards passing. Doing a really good job on third down conversion. This is the best that our offense has looked the entire season, man. And we dominated time of possession. That's what I wanted to come out and do. We did exactly that, and it just feels good, man. Going 2-0 in this episode. As for Warren Bryant's been pretty good, man. Another great game for him. In terms of Air Force passing standards, 12 for 20, 217 yards, and a touchdown, including a 51-yard pass. We also got ourselves a 100-yard roster, and guess what? It was also Warren Bryant that had 100 yards on the ground, 17 carries, 102 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He was electric. He is a stud. So is Deandre Hughes. He had 21 for 72 and a touchdown. Brad Roberts was also able to find his way in the end zone as well. 6 carries, 20 yards to show for it, and a touchdown on the ground. Now, as for our receivers, you know, receivers only got 12 receptions because, you know, we don't pass the ball a lot here at Air Force. But I'll tell you what, Brandon Lewis, he had a really nice touchdown catch today. 2 catches, 37 yards, and a tub. It was the only touchdown pass that Warren Bryant threw. David Cormier, man, he is a dangerous human being. If he was on a pass-happy offense, you know, he would certainly get some NFL consideration. I'm sure of that, but he decided to go for a higher purpose. But he got 3 catches for 85 yards. That cannot be overlooked. Kyle Patterson also looked really good as well. 3 catches, 46 yards on the day. Doing some great stuff as a tight end. So we check back in once again. And look what goes down in our conference. Obviously, we won our game. That's not to be disputed at all. But Colorado State, they lose on the road to Utah State 21-33. And while that does mean that Colorado State is going to be desperately fighting to get a bowl game eligibility, we secure a trip to the conference championship game. Now, it does look like it could be Nevada, but it doesn't, you know, and could end up being something different. San Diego State could get in there as well. If San Diego State does win their next game against UNLV, San Jose State, they might have something to say as well. They have a slight chance of getting in as well. So it's going to be interesting to see who we play out of the West Division for the Mountain West Conference. But in the meantime, we can't worry about what's going on the other side of the conference. We just got to focus on what's next for us. And next episode, we have a rivalry game against Colorado State. It's going to be a good one, so make sure you go ahead and smash that like button. Hit subscribe if you have to be brand new. This is John J. Gaming on the mic, signing off. I'm hoping you're all out there having a good one. Take care, everybody.